What's going on YouTube? Kamikaze Von Doom here with another Division 2 build video. Now in this build video I'm going to show you the ultimate pyro build, the best pyro build in the game. Yes, it is perfect for legendary content, and before you doubt it or question it, let me go ahead and show you some gameplay. Now shout out to the DoD Disciples of Doom. Alright, we're going to roll some gameplay, so pull out the popcorn, and I will see you in just a bit. Enjoy!
Main shade node. The federal shelter should be beneath your current position. Find a way down there, but proceed with caution.
Hostile assembling a golden bullet. Received. Golden bullet.
The DCD's data analysis lab is just ahead. See what data you can grab for Kelso.
Data transfer initiated. Serious trauma detected. Immediate medical assistance needed. Vital signs critical.
Hurry! Let's move! There's no direct...
Incoming hostiles detected. Nearby hostage situation detected. Armored hostiles detected.
Alright, now what you just saw not only was that legendary on District Union Arena, but I also did the Golden Bullet global event, the current league, and the previous league. So I've been using this build for quite some time, but I decided to release it. I think one of you jumped in my Outriders stream the other day and asked, what's a good build for legendaries? And I said, skill build. And dude said, yeah, thanks. And I was like, alright, like if you want me to go into more detail, I'll go into more detail. So here you go. This is going to be the ultimate pyro build, the best pyro build in the game. Alright, so starting off at the top, you have to have the firewall specialization. Reason being is it gives you that burn duration. You want the burn duration with this build because it gets more enemies on burn in different ways, and I'll show you in just a second. So firewall specialization increases your burn resistance. Put it on, especially if you are trying to put together a pyro build. Now, reason I am saying burn duration is so important is because we are using the 4-piece Eclipse protocol. So every time an enemy dies on a status effect, it'll then spread to all the other nearby enemies and give them that status effect with added duration. So you want a big duration to start off with. That way when the Eclipse protocol spreads to the other enemies, that duration is also longer. You know what I mean. Not only that, but we are using the Vile Mask. So every time an enemy gets put under a status effect, they will also get put under, a debuff from the Vile Mask. So now they're getting 2 different damages from the same source. Pretty awesome, right? And then I am running 1 Golem Gear for added status effects, because the more status effects you have, the higher, the debuff from the Vile Mask is going to be. But I'll explain all this in just a bit. So yeah, firewall specialization, put it on, you're welcome. Alright, going to the weapons. My primary weapon, the Pyromaniac. You can't have a pyro build without the Pyromaniac. And for my secondary, I am using the Scorpio. In my opinion, it is the best exotic weapon for any sort of PvE content. The Scorpio. Alright, but back to the Pyromaniac. 61.9k total damage. And that's with max AR damage, 15.5 health damage, and max damage to targets out of cover. It does come with perfectly ignited, so I get that 25% weapon damage to all burning enemies. Not only that, but if I kill 3 enemies, the very next enemy is going to get put on automatic burn. Now for the mods or the weapon attachments, I'm going for more, weapon handling and stability, because I want to be able to hit these enemies from afar, because I am using this in all difficulties, whether it be speed runs during the league events or even all the way up to legendary, strongholds. So for the optics, I'm using weapon handling. This increases my accuracy, stability, and reload speed. Vertical grip for more accuracy, and then a large suppressor for, again, more accuracy. You can see on the right side of your screen, I have a 2.3 second reload speed with almost maxed out stability and fairly high accuracy. And then for the magazine, chose the sturdy extended 5.56 mag. That gives me a 50 round magazine total. Now for the Scorpio, this one's at 631.8k total damage, and that's with max shotgun damage, 11% damage to armor, and 9% crit hit damage. Now what makes this the best exotic for PvE content is this talent, Septic Shock. Now everyone knows I have used this shotgun for Legendary Summit, I've used this shotgun for just Legendary Missions, and I've also used this shotgun for both raids. It is a great shotgun to use, and this talent is the reason why. So shooting a target applies a stack of venom. This lasts for 10 seconds, and increasing the stacks will add, more severe debuffs. So 1 stack, poison, 3, disorient, 6, shock. Now here's a sidebar, little tips and trick. Whenever you get them on shock, reload your weapon. That way you do the damage and then you can keep shooting them. Because when they're shocked, they're going to be shocked for, quite a few seconds. So make sure you go ahead and just reload your shotgun and then put all those shells into them. Because the next one, 7th shot, target takes additional 20% damage from all sources. And then the stacks reset. So, yeah. Just saying. And the closer you are to the enemy, the more severe these status effects will be. So make sure you're up close and personal when using the Scorpio. But I like to sit back with the Pyromaniac, watch all the enemies burn, and then get all that extra weapon damage. And then for the sidearm, I'm using the TDI Card Custom. This comes with Future Perfect, nothing crazy about it. I haven't even maxed it out. It's just sitting there. I'm not really using the pistol at all. But if I were to, I'd probably run it with Future Perfect. Alright, so back to the build. We have the 4 Eclipse Protocol, Vile Mask, and 1 piece Golem Gear. Let's do a deep dive, starting with the mask. This is the Vile Mask. It is your exotic mask you got from, I think it was like Season 3, something like that. But basically, what the best part of this is the talent. It is Toxic Delivery. So every time a status effect is applied to an enemy, it also gives them a debuff for 10 seconds. Now during these 10 seconds, it will deal total damage dealt equal to 50% of your concussion grenade, and it is increased by your status effects. So 50% of my concussion. My concussion is at 1.4 million damage. So that's saying with the 10 seconds, just baseline, it's going to do 700,000 damage to whatever enemy that is. And then it also said it is increased. Let me see. Okay, so at the bottom there. And increased by your status effect attributes. So I have max status effects on the mask. From the Eclipse Protocol, I get 15% status effects. And I am running 1 Golem Gear, so I get the extra 10% status effects from there as well. So I'm running quite a bit. Let's see. So 10, that's 25, 35. I'm running 44% status effects. So that's 700k damage, and then you have to add, another 44% status effects, and that increases the damage even more. So yeah, this is a heavy hitting build. Now for the other attributes, this also comes with a skill tier, we all know that, but then also hazard protection. I personally wish the hazard protection was off for say skill damage, but it is what it is. What I did is I threw a skill haste mod on here at 11.6. Alright, let's knock out the Golem Gear and then we can do a deep dive into the Eclipse Protocol. Alright, so Golem Gear holster. I get 10% status effects from the brand set bonus. I rolled a skill tier on here so I can have the 6 tier skill build. And then also there are status effects and skill damage rolled onto this holster. Now I am in the process of optimizing these, so I have 9% status effects and 9.1 skill damage. This is pretty rare on a Golem Gear piece to have all yellows, so I'm trying to max it out as fast as I can. Alright, so let's do the deep dive into the Eclipse Protocol. Alright, so on the right side of your screen, we are going to be talking about these gear set bonuses. So Eclipse Protocol. For having 2 pieces of gear, we get 15% status effects, which helps out our Vile Mask and also helps out our burn, duration, and burn damage. For 3 pieces, we get Skill Haste, which we want that because we want our skills as fast as possible. That way we can keep these enemies on burn. And then it also gives us Hazard Protection, which is okay. It's better to have it than not have it, I guess, but we don't really need it. And then for the 4 piece, we have Indirect Transmission. Now this is what I was trying to explain earlier. Your status effects now spread on kill to all enemies, and I'm just going to leave it there because I am running the chest piece and the backpack. So there's going to be added things to this 4 piece. For example, the chest piece now gives me a 15-meter radius and 75% duration. So that indirect transmission should read, your status effects now spread on kill to all enemies within 15 meters and refreshes 75% of your duration. That is insane. So what I did is I put Firewall for the specialization, that way I get more burn duration, and then I get 75% of that back whenever it spreads through the Eclipse Protocol. Not only that, but when it spreads from the Eclipse Protocol, it procs the Vile Mask. So then it's doing even more damage to all these people. It's just insane. But it doesn't stop there, because I am also running the Eclipse Protocol backpack, which also has a talent that helps amplify the gear set bonuses. And I kind of said that on purpose, because this talent, it's called Symptom Aggravator. It amplifies all damage you deal to status affected targets by 30%. All damage. Burn damage, weapon damage, whatever damage. So that helps out my Vile Mask, that helps out my weapons, and that also helps out my skills. 30% amplified damage. Insane. But alright, so now that we know what Eclipse Protocol does, let's talk about the gear pieces. So for the chest piece, comes with a skill tier. I rolled skill damage on here because I want my skills to actually hurt, because we already have the burn duration up and we already have skill haste. I'm trying to get that skill to actually hurt the enemy, so I went with skill damage. And then for the mod, skill haste at 11.8. Back to the backpack. Attributes, skill tier, max skill damage, and max skill haste mod. Gloves, max skill damage. And knee pads, oh, you guessed it, max skill damage. So for everything on here, except for the mask, has skill damage rolled onto it. Now I have status effects rolled onto the mask and the holster. So I do have that 44% status effects on top of everything else. Now let's talk about these amazing skills. So first up, we have the Fire Starter. This is a tier 6, and let's look at the numbers. So of course the Fire Starter applies a burn status effect to the target. You shoot it on the ground, either the enemy shoots at you, you shoot at them, it lights it up, everyone gets on fire, you're having a good day. Alright, so for these stats, 7 ammo, 17.5 seconds on the cooldown per, stack or whatever. Now the cloud radius is at 3.9 and the cloud duration 24 seconds. Now the damage. Damage is only for PvE, so we're not going to read the PvP. 539.1k damage, and 270.1k burn damage. Burn duration of 11 seconds. Now looking at the mods that I am using, burn strength and also skill haste. So I'm not using damage, I'm using burn strength. So you could use damage, but it's going to, lower you quite a bit in the burn department. Now the other skill I am using is the burn sticky bomb. Now this is one of my favorite things, because if you shoot elite with a burn sticky bomb and let it just sit there on him for a second, you will see that enemy catch on fire, and then you explode it. He explodes, whoever's around him explodes, and then everyone else in the game is put on fire. This is probably one of my favorite skills in the game, just because of the fire. I love it. Alright, so for this one, tier 6, and the stats. 19.2 on the cooldown, just under 1.7 million damage with a 12-second duration. Now for the mods, I'm using skill haste in the launcher slot and damage in the payload slot. And there you have it. This is the ultimate pyro build, the best pyro build in the game. I love this build. I use it for global events, league events, legendaries, it really doesn't matter. You can use this for whatever you want. Now let's finish up with the stats and then I'll get you out of here. Alright, so this is for the Pyromaniac. 2k weapon damage with 10 crit chance, 45 crit damage, 75 headshot damage. Go to the offensive tab, 10% all weapon damage bonus and 30% AR damage bonus. So every time I use the Pyromaniac, I get 40% damage bonus total. Now for the defensive tab, 726k armor, 331k health, with a little bit of explosive resistance, and just under 50% hazard protection. Now remember, a lot of that is due to my weapon level, or my watch level, my bad. Alright, and then for the skills, I do have 60.4 skill haste, and that's for both of my skills. And that is it, you guys. That is the ultimate pyro build, the best pyro build in the game. I'm Kamikaze Von Doom. If you have any questions or comments at all, let me know in the comments section below. I do respond to my comments. And yeah, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.